Hi, I thought I'd just drop in today. It's ANZAC Day here in New Zealand, and for those who are not Australian or New Zealanders, Kiwis, ANZAC Day is Veterans Day or commemorative day for those in other countries who commemorate and celebrate the service people and reflect on the meaning of wartime events and how they really impact the world. So, if you don't know, I'm ex-military, and it's always an honour to go to an ANZAC service. This morning I kind of goofed up, and yet it turned out for me to be the most perfect mistake. We had Ruby with my hubby, and I had Ruby, our little border terrier, with us this morning. I always put a little bandana on her with love hearts all over it, and she wears a little poppy, and though of course she doesn't know it, but I say that she's there supporting all the service animals, all the animals that have died through conflict and war, through the wars. And all those service animals, sorry for the Harley Davidson noise behind us. Obviously, a few people are out and about using this public holiday for their own recreation. And good on them. That is what these men and women from around the world actually did. Have the freedom to do whatever we want within the bounds of community consideration. And that's kind of where I want to go to today, in that because we have Ruby with us, I always stand at the back of the crowd, and there was a couple that came up next to us. I wasn't wearing my glasses. I very rarely wear them other than driving distance glasses, and I mistook them for being our neighbours just down the road. And I was just being cordial, just being neighbourly. And if you have that term, being neighbourly, in your world, then I guess you know exactly what I'm going to be referring to here. But I was being neighbourly, and I just said, hi there, neighbours. How's it going today? And the woman, turned around and said, oh, hi, good. And she said, we're actually from Scotland. And I went, okay, hi, neighbour. And we got talking, and they were there. They were just visiting Renwick overnight on their big New Zealand trip, travelling from Auckland through to Queenstown. And I said, oh, is this your first New Zealand ANZAC service? Yes. And so I just, briefly said, what it was about, and suggested that they grab one of the little pamphlets that gets dished out. And she told me a little bit about where they come from and what have you. And of course, our ANZAC parades are always presented with the bagpipes. There's generally some bagpipe in the parade, normally leading the troops into the parade ground. And as we were doing the local one, it was down at a memorial corner down in the township there. So at the end of the service, and I always get choked up when it comes to hearing the last post. It's not just that we have family members that have served in World War II and in World War One. My mother lived through the war in England as a child, because we are military, it's always a little, and especially for me, it's always moving, a very moving experience. And then I thought about this couple next door to us, seniors like I am, and realising that the bagpipes probably were extremely moving for them as well, because that's their national musical instrument. All bagpipes originated from Scotland. So after the ceremony, and I turned to them, and I really wanted to be extra neighbourly, because extra friendly, and then the word neighbourly just kept coming to mind, as in just commenting to them about how it must have been to be in a foreign country on the other side of the world, even though it's English speaking, we're part of the Commonwealth, etc. So we're kind of neighbours, we're Commonwealth neighbours. They just live at the top end of the other side of the world at the top end, and we live at the other side of the world at the bottom end. We had so much in common. And I thanked them for coming to our little service. They could have gone to the big service in town, but they'd stayed overnight here and in the township of Renwick, and they wanted to support what was, at a different time of the year, a very important event for them. It would have been Armistice Days, I would say. The end of the war is probably the big celebrations and commemorations in the UK. And then I asked them a little bit about where they were heading and what have you. And then I offered them a few tips and actually gave them my business card and said, look, if you've got nobody else in the South Island, to touch base with or what have you, or you need to know that there is somebody that can help you out because they live in the same island, that they're in the same island as you. Give us a bell. There's sometimes when you're in a foreign country, you just feel you want to actually have somebody that is not a stranger, not a straight out stranger. And then all the way home, until I've been doing this video here, I've been thinking about what it would take to be extra, just a little bit extra neighbourly in our lives. It doesn't take much. And if we are a little bit more neighbourly in our own communities, then communities become more neighbourly focused. And therefore a country can become more neighbourly focused. And then countries can be neighbourly towards one another. And I think in today's climate and environment, which was very, very evident at the ANZAC service today, about peace and respect and understanding, and that yes, there are definitely rewards to the strife that goes on. Often it's unnecessary. So my wish for today, and this kind of is coming to the close of my birthday week, is that what if we all can be just a little bit more neighbourly? And what might that bring the world? Things are not going to change overnight in a big scheme of things, but we could all do a little bit. It's a bit like that starfish story. We can all do a little bit to just make this world a better place for many, and it doesn't take much. Just a few minutes every day to be neighbourly. Okay, that was a little bit longer than what I thought, but I'm sharing this from my heart today on the 25th of April, ANZAC Day 2025, here in New Zealand. The sun shining and freedom all around us. May you be blessed today too.